Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hearthstone deck spotlight. My name is Tommy Wave on Twitch. Today we're taking a look at ThatMage's Bogles Paladin. Now we are doing something a little bit different here. If you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, you might have seen that we previously covered this deck in a commentary series. We actually, ThatMage was kind enough to send me a bunch of replays through HS Replay, and we actually commentated through those replays to kind of get a bit of an understanding as to how this deck works, what its strengths are, what its potential weaknesses are, and really help inform us as to how we should be playing the deck. And you know, for a deck like this, it's very important because it is a bit of an obscure strategy. In case you missed that video or you haven't watched it yet, feel free to go watch it. Otherwise, the Bogles strategy comes from a magic term. Generally means a creature that is very sticky or hard to remove, has like hexproof, something like that. And this general strategy is you're going to put as many pants and as many hats on, as many buffs on this creature as possible, and try and kill your opponent that way. Also kind of like a Voltron type strategy, if you've heard of that before. The best example of a Bogle is a Shimmering Courser. It's quite hard to remove with spells and things like that, and particularly when we buff it up with Divine Shields from our Argent Protectors, when we start putting on adaptations, Blessing of Wisdom, Blessing of Might, Blessing of Kings, all of these things just creates a huge menace, and we're going to try and close out the game with hopefully one, maybe two creatures. We've got other tools in the deck like Rebuke to help against board clears, but other than that, most of the deck comes down to either sticky creatures like Argent Squire, Righteous Protector, buffs to make them better, adaptation, Blessing of Wisdom, Blessing of Might, these types of things, and ways to protect those minions, which is included in some of the buffs, but also cards like Argent Protector, Sound the Bells, Unidentified Maul on Divine Shield mode, and things like that. One of the weaknesses we did kind of pick out in the commentary series was there's no silence in the deck. I think that is definitely going to be an important thing. So I mean, ThatMage has said, you know, there are some cards that we can cut, things like the Shimmering Courser, to get some kind of silence effect in there, but just for consistency's sake, we're going to be playing the exact list from the commentary series that we did, and after all these games we'll come back and we'll take a look at things, have a good analysis, and see what we can come up with. So without further ado, let's jump into some games with ThatMage's Bogles Paladin.
I will fight with honor.
Okay, we're here with the slippery deck. So Argent Squire is a great start. We can definitely start buffing it up. However, we are against Rogue, and this is kind of maybe one of the potential weaknesses of the deck is these 1 damage hero power lists. So hopefully we can mulligan into maybe like an Argent Protector, maybe a second creature for us to start buffing. Adaptation could be good, but especially if we don't know if we're against Odd Rogue or Tempo Rogue. Tempo Rogue, we saw in the replays, we actually had a Tempo Rogue matchup there, and Sap was totally devastating. So maybe within the blind, we'll send back the adaptation, but I'd be semi-inclined to keep it if we knew that this was Odd Rogue. Interesting start. Got the good maul though. Rips out Pray for Odd. It is Tempo, so this is going to be a matchup where I think we are not favoured. I think we are going to have to. I'm going to have to get a little bit lucky here. Prelate says in enchantment, so that means literally anything you put on it, even like Shattered Sun Cleric. Yeah. I think we'll go for the Secret Keeper here, mostly because I don't think the Secret Keeper has a lot of value in this hand. And we kind of just want to make our opponent use a resource so we can get the Argent Squire up. This might make them overreact a little bit. Is this a budget deck, boy? Yeah, it's pretty budget. What are we looking at? Rares, Mana Addict, Shimmering Courser. I don't think Shimmering Courser is an epic, is it? Well, we got a backstab out of our opponent's hand.
The light protects. I'll never tell.
Let's see what happens here. If we can keep one of these around, we can get a Blessing of Wisdom and an Argent Protector off. So we might actually be able to start getting some kind of velocity going on. We've also got the option to like coin the Maul and play a Blessing of Wisdom. It really just... if our opponent has another backstab, it's obviously devastating for us. Oh, Fan's really bad too. So now we face a bit of a crossroads. We can Blessing of Wisdom, Blessing of Might, coin Argent Protector this.
Let me think.
And just hope that our opponent doesn't have a good answer for it. Then we might actually be able to win from just that play. As in, we'll get enough value over the long term. Our opponent won't have access to Vile Spine. They've used a Fan. I think we can go for it. I think, especially given the deck that we are up against. We might get lucky here. Blessing then attack first? Yeah. I guess we could have considered not playing the Blessing of Might and attacking. But I think we already had like a play that used all of our mana up. And getting that extra damage in is important. Is this an SI7?
Ha, this guy's toast.
But an SI7 to take out... Now are we trading? That's the question. I think we have to go for the Blessing of Kings. Maybe we Blessing of Kings and take out the SI7? Or do we attack first and then see what we want to do? The fact that these... I mean, our opponent needs to pop the shield and produce 2 damage. See, Noble Sack would be really good to have out here. So if we'd gone for Blessing of Might instead... I don't know, this is a tough one. This is a really hard deck to kind of play. If you're watching on YouTube and you've got... you think there was a better line there and you can kind of explain yourself a bit better. This is another SI7. Elven Minstrel! Oh my gosh, we're still in it. If you can kind of explain your lines, your actions really well, hit me up. Alright. So we need to reset the Divine Shield here. Question is, do we... like, Purifies More, Blessing of Might, Noble Sacrifice? Yeah, I think we'll Blessing of Might and battle. Wow, another Divine Shield more. It's very lucky. I think I'm just going to trade here just to reduce our opponent's potential for killing this. Trade, then weapon up. Okay.
Get down!
They have to have like the elemental into Vile Spine. Okay. Our opponent takes the honourable way out. GG. GG. I think that was a really interesting game. I think there's definitely a lot of times where we could have made a totally different move and had it go wrong for us. But I think we made some measured decisions. I think that point on, was it turn 2 or turn 3? Where we had the option of going for like a really aggressive play that's like high risk but high reward. You know, we made the play, we got rewarded big time. Our opponent was always felt like they were a step behind. So, you know, that's how the deck's supposed to work. Even though it is aggressive and that game finished on, what, turn 5, turn 6? a lot of really important decisions. You know, we always talk about aggro versus control, and you know, the multitude of decisions over a long game versus a couple of very, very important decisions over the short game. So, GG, well played to our opponent. Let's get the next one.
Give me strength.
I will fight with honor.
Here with the Bogles deck again, up against Priest. Now, Priest is going to be a bit difficult because they do have a lot of unconditional removal in some decks, but a lot of lists are also trying to cut down on the shadow words that they play. So, we might be able to sneak a win off of this one. The question is, what are we keeping? I think the Argent Squire and the Hydrologist are going to be pretty good. We do have the coin. I like the Unidentified Mole, especially with the coin. The real question is, are we keeping this adaptation? You know, +3 attack would be a good mode, but I think a lot of the other modes are going to be pretty lackluster. So I think we'll send back the adaptation and hope that we can maybe hit something with a bit more impact. It's a match that Rebuke is going to be very good in. Item Protector. Okay. I need a resupplement to get my Stay Away emotes. When I get my new computer, that's #1 on the to-do list. Awesome, Daedric. I look forward to it. Hopefully maybe on the Wednesday or Friday stream if you stop by. Check out some of the new Rastakhan decks. Have a bit of a party. A bit of a sub-party.
The light protects me.
This is a really interesting kind of hand that's developed here. Mana Addict. Could be very good. Unfortunately, we got the terrible mode on the Maul. This is the least ideal Maul mode. Tough decision. Tough decision here. Vox, what's going on? I think we want to get this Blessing of Wisdom down.
I fight. I'll never tell.
Secret Keeper's a great draw here. Really didn't want to have to use this coin so early. Kind of want to get a Mana Addict down just in case, but hopefully this puts our opponent in a really tricky situation. They may have to rely on like a Spirit Lash to try and clear.
I fight.
So we have the Sound the Bells Mana Addict combo. Disguised Toast texted, the Priest card makes everything fight. 0 attack creatures do swing with that card. So weird. That's awesome. So Priest has their own little brawl going on. Just debating whether to dump 2,500 gold into Classic or save it for Rasta. Ooh, that's tough. Depends how big your Classic collection is, I guess.
Not on my watch.
I have 75% of Classic. I think you should save it for Rumble packs. You know, you want to open a good chunk of them. Make sure you guaranteed a couple of legendaries. Interesting. What adaptation can we get that would help us? Untargetable. Stealth, also good. Missing 40 rares, 50 epics, 25 legendaries, but got all the commons. Plus I already have 50 Rastakhan packs. I don't know, I think you should try and open as many Rastakhan packs as you can. I think this set, even though it's not going to be legal for as long, I think there are some great cards in there. Jimbo De Niro, what's going on? Hope all is peachy. We are for sure staying wavy today. But what are we going to do here? We got double bad maul.
Let me think.
I can taste the mana.
No, we definitely should have attacked first. That was a bad move on our part. And I think we will get the Righteous Protector out here. This might frustrate our opponent so much that they just snap off the Psychic Scream. And then we get to reload with Mana Addict, Shimmering Courser, a bunch of good stuff. So I think consensus is Rumble. Yeah, I've currently got bought both of the pre-orders, and I'll be spending all my gold, so that's about 5,000 gold, and I might even drop an extra. I might buy an extra 50 to 100 packs. Yeah, gotta get that content out. They did have the Shadow and Death. Unfortunate. So our opponent probably not going to go for a Psychic Scream here. But if our Mana Addict lives, how much is quadruple Sound the Bells? It's +4 plus and Blessing of Mine. Okay. How much is this? So 3. So 3 Sound the Bells is 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15, 16? Still think we probably go for it. We'll even throw 2 Sound the Bells on the Murloc, just to diversify our threats.
Must move quickly.
What a rush!
But now we might be in a bit of a pickle if our opponent has, I mean, even Shadow Reaper Anduin would be very good here. Ooh. Master Spell. Getting some value off of Master Spell, definitely worth it. Let's see if they have another Divine Hymn to stay healthy. So kind of want to take out this Pyro with the Sacred Maul. 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. Yeah, we're 1 mana off being able to do all the things.
I can taste the mana.
For justice.
I think we might have just missed our opportunity to go under our opponent. I think that's kind of one of the other things we pointed out after watching the replays is the deck doesn't have a lot of reach once you lose momentum. I think sometimes it's okay to not play reach. And this is where the that silence comes in. So right now we really have almost no way to get past this Primordial Drake. But
The light dims, but we fight. The light protects me.
Reporting for duty. For justice! For justice! For justice!
I think we're just going to have to make some very aggressive plays and hope that our opponent just happens to land things in our favour. Or we're just dead. Although the Noble Sack should save us from something. Unless they got another spell. No! And my other Noble Sacrifice. Ah. Alright. Still in it. We're not in it. Ah. Well played to our opponent. So, we really just kind of ran out of steam there. I think that there might have been some early plays where we could have just been a bit more aggressive, or maybe the Mana Addict turn, we shouldn't have gone all out. We should have tried to build a more resilient board, but well played to our opponent. On to the next one.
You asked for it.
Alright.
We'll fight with honor.
Up against Mage here. I think this is a keeper. I think we can snap this one off. We've got Secret Keeper Hydrologist, which is kind of its own little thing. Got Argent Squire with the Blessing of Wisdom as well. Now we are on the draw, and we really don't know what mages we're going to be up against. We've seen Murloc Mage, we've seen Big Spell, we've seen Tempo Mage even. So it's going to hard to pick. I think we'll go with this. See what our opponent's up to. That's pretty bad. Pretty bad for us, but we'll go for the Argent Squire here. The Champion's Maul is very good.
The light protects me.
We'll see what our opponent wants to do. I doubt they're going to trade and fireball our thing. Oof. Let's hit them all out. Let's try and
Justice. Reporting for duty.
Fight.
this maul will hopefully be able to stem the bleeding a little bit. It allows us to trade early, which is really where allows us to control the board early, which is really where we're concerned about. And hopefully later we can turn the corner and try and take the game over. These Silverhand recruits are going to be real valuable too. Against all these Murloc these Raiders and these other Grimscale Oracles. Daedric Streams, I'm going to head out. I got school in the morning. I need to get some sleep. Have a good day, night, everyone. No worries. Good to see you. Hopefully we'll see you again after your computer's fixed. Good luck with everything, of course. What to do indeed. What is this? Rockwood. Face.
Time runs out on me.
I fight.
Rebuke. Ooh, auto defense matrix. That can be a good one. I think we'll go for the noble sack though. We'll also just trade in over here. We do have a bit of a risk that our opponent's going to like push the.
There's not one person in the world that's ever helped me.
Wah 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 wah. Wow! 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 Icy Flame with a tier 1 sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Of course, Icy Flame, that means that you get to add an ornament to the tree. We'll jump over to the tree in just a second and you can let me know what you want to see. Got a pretty obvious kind of line here where we go Secret Keeper, Noble Sacrifice. I think we'll fire that one off after we take a draw from our Argent Squire.
I'll never tell.
So unfortunately, this does leave us with one mana spare, and I think this is a deck we really want to get the most throughput through our mana. Yeah, let's get those stay wavies in the chat for Icy Flame. This is a deck where we really want to have as much throughput as possible. We did get, I guess, a little bit lucky with our opponent going for the Book of Spectres, kind of giving up a little bit of the board.
Get down!
Get down. Thank you all for the stay wavies. Another Noble Sacrifice. Well, it's a juicy one. We'll take the auto defense matrix here.
I fight.
I'm actually going to trade off with the Oracle first. I think we're allowed to just keep trading here, right? Like our board is big enough, chunky enough that I think our opponent's in a terrible position. Get down. And then does it give the Noble Sacrifice the auto defense matrix? It does. Great. Opponent's going to have something real good to get back in there, but they do not. I think that game was purely decided on them playing the Book of Spectres on that turn 4. Because they weren't committing more to the board, they just really couldn't compete with us. Also, having that early maul with the Silverhand Recruit modes was absolutely mint. Very good card. I can definitely see a rematch in that that kind of matchup going very differently depending on who's on the play and what kind of openers people get. But we're on the draw there. We're on the coin, so that's a good one. Let's take a look at the deck. Right here, look, we had some really good games. We made some good decisions. We also got a little bit lucky, and we also made some poor decisions in some of those games. GLA Legit, now hosting with one viewer. Thank you for the host. Really appreciate that. I think the clear things that we want to change. I think the Shimmering Courses have been really doing nothing for us. Even in some of those replays that we watched, Shimmering Courses were very low value and they're very expensive. 4 mana is a lot in this deck. We also saw that we kind of have a weakness to those big taunts, and getting some kind of silence in the deck could really help us push through. As far as whether it's going to be Ironbeak Owl or Spellbreaker, I'm unsure. I'm going to go with Spellbreaker here because I think by the time that silencing something is relevant, we're going to have 4, 5, 6 mana. And having a bigger body is just going to maybe help us close the game out a bit more. Spellbreaker also a little bit less vulnerable to Defile, makes us less vulnerable to Defile. I think we can just go with 1 for now, and we can maybe test the waters as to if a second is required. The Rebuke, I think, is still good. The Divine Favor is definitely good. Unsure of what the next card could be. I mean, ThatMage's in the chat. I'm not too sure what you've been adding in there, whether it's a second kind of silence or something along those lines. I actually mentioned, I think, in the initial when I first saw the deck, that this actually seems like a pretty good Christology deck. Maybe just the one. It can help us find all of our 1-drops, Argent Squire, Righteous Protector, and Secret Keeper, but also helps us get a Mana Addict, which is quite good. That mage went for the double silence. Okay, well, I can definitely get behind that too. But yeah, in fact, let's go for the double silence this time, and we might give that a shot. Anyway, let me know if you've been playing this deck. If you are watching on YouTube, all the links are down in the description, including a link over to the Hearthstone article. I'll also have a link there to our commentary video. You can go check that out. I'd love some feedback on my commentary style, just something that I'm slowly trying to work up to and get more practice in. So be kind, but be brutal as well. Let me know if you've played this deck or you've played a deck like this. What do you think we should be cutting those Shimmering Courses for? How do you feel about that? Jump over to the Hearthstone deck article, give it a +1, leave a lovely thoughtful comment, as I know you will. All my links are down there as well. TommyWave on Twitch, @TommyWave on Twitter. That's the best place to catch me. And until next time, stay safe, stay wavy, stay slippery, be a bogle, eat the rich. Bye!